Have you ever felt like you're destined for more, yet you felt held back by circumstances beyond your control? Maybe you are already making good money with your professional career or business, but you still have those days where you have brain fog or don't feel your best. You might even be in a decent physical shape, but you still don't perform at optimal levels during your daily work. You may even already be putting in the work, trying biohacking, wearing blue light blockers and other things, but you are still figuring out why you feel like there's something missing. What if I told you that you can have the same effect as taking the limitless pill, but achieve it organically without having to figure out all these biohacking routines on your own? Because that's exactly how I felt every day before I discovered the Performance Mastery Protocol. And now I'm not only in my best shape of my life, but I've also been able to do a lot more, being more efficient with my output and time, allowing me to move the needle forward with scaling my multiple six-figures business and spend more time with my loved ones. My name is Ishmael Santos, and this is my story. I was born in West Africa and raised in Portugal. I faced a really challenging upbringing, which was very common within our community, and I was constantly trying to find my place in the world. And as a teenager, I found solace in football, but my dream was cut short by 2 knee injuries, and discouragement soon followed. And at the time, I was betting everything in my football career, which was ruined in my early 20s. And I need to confess that I felt really defeated and a failure. And I wanted to retreat from everything, but my search for purpose in life led me to the army, where I began to understand the power of discipline and mental fortitude. And honestly, although I loved the constant physical challenges I was exposed to in the army, it took me almost 3 years to realize that it wasn't the career that would really fulfill me at the deep level if I continued there. There wasn't anything wrong in the army. I just felt I could be more and do more if I was in a different place, exploring my mental capabilities and my talents. Also, I was eager to make a lot more money whilst I was relatively young. But I felt stagnant, no growth or development as a person. So I had to make a change. I had to change what I was doing. I had to change the environment and move out of my comfort zone. That's when I left the army and moved to the UK. After establishing myself in London, I explored various business ventures. But I always loved training and motivating my friends to do more and become more. So I discovered the passion for fitness and personal training. Then when I first started working as a personal trainer in one of the best gyms in London, despite the initial success by securing a few clients in the beginning, I struggled beneath the surface. Even though I worked crazy hours at the gym, I wasn't capable of driving the business forward because I lacked the essential business skills. And I felt fatigued, overwhelmed, overstretched. And there was systematic tiredness, too much work, too many nights of poor sleep. And I had this hustle culture very much ingrained in me, so I would spend even more hours at the gym without making significant money. And deep in my core, I thought I had to work harder, and I did, but my productivity was quite low. I wasn't productive or efficient. I couldn't bring money home. My relationship was falling apart, and the worst part was that I couldn't feed my daughter. Although I was in a good physical shape, I was facing financial difficulties and a failing relationship. And things got worse by the pain of being separated from my daughter when her mother decided to move out of the UK. But I don't blame her. Who wants to be with a man who can't support you and your daughter financially? That's when I hit rock bottom. I was broke and I struggled to make ends meet. I was feeling lost in a country far from home. And if you really want to know, I felt really miserable. It was during these darkest days that I realized I needed to take control of my life instead of feeling sorry for myself. Of course, I had to take this L and move forward. Only my perseverance and belief that one day I would be doing something great kept me going. So I moved out of London feeling depressed and lived temporarily in my friend's house. Whilst working 12-hour shift jobs in a milk factory in Leeds, every day I would drag myself to the workplace knowing that I didn't belong there. That's when I received a message from an old client asking if I was still doing personal training. And that was the only thing that I needed. A sign that would serve as a reminder that a loss is not an end. It wasn't just about achieving peak physical strength, but mental and spiritual strength as well. I needed a holistic approach to my life if I wanted to operate at a high level. I decided to rebuild my life, not just for me, but for my daughter and the people I loved. I took a deep dive into neuroscience and personal development, seeking to understand the mind-body connection. I read every personal development, nutrition, exercise, and biohacking material I could get my hands on. And I realized that I was responsible for everything that happened to me. If I had a failing relationship, I was the one responsible for it. If I had a failing business, I was the one responsible for it. If I wanted better results in my life, I had to take ownership and start by improving as a person. So I made a decision that would change my life forever. I began by putting the pieces together and sticking to my foundational pillars: mindset, sleep, nutrition, and movement, the very foundations of peak performance. I needed a body to house all the energy required to achieve my big dreams, and slowly but surely, I started seeing improvements. Not just in my physique, but in my mental clarity and overall satisfaction, which resulted in being able to produce more output in a shorter time frame. And I confess that the journey wasn't easy. There were multiple setbacks and days of doubt, because I had little empirical evidence of what would work for me to become more efficient. Some days I would feel energy, other days I would drag myself, not recognizing myself. Sometimes I would be really productive, but other times brain fog really flipped my output upside down. I was inconsistent with my sleep, and of course, I had inconsistent results in my business. I faced uncertainty and lack of confidence that could really produce the results for my client and how to improve my business. But I had to take this scientific approach to my life. I persisted by trying and testing different techniques. By studying my metrics, I recognized what inputs led to certain outputs. And gradually, I managed to improve my sleep and consistently wake up feeling restored and energized, ready to tackle any demands or challenge. And I hit the nail on the head when I understood how to have a strategic nutritional approach to optimize for my metabolism in a way that would have endless energy when I most needed. This was a game changer. Since I had more ability to maintain focus, I had more energy to fuel my creativity, and I could deal extremely well with stress, with my business and personal relationships. And I felt in the zone. I experienced consistent periods of great productivity. I felt myself achieving the flow state regularly, where I could not put a foot wrong. And in any meeting or conversation, I am highly engaged. By being consistent with my foundational pillars, I managed to scale my business, not only because of my drive, because that I always had it, but because I have more mental energy, more focus and concentration. I'm highly productive. I feel like a high-performance machine. For me, it wasn't anymore about just stumbling on these random events by accident. I've been really consistent and intentional with the help of a designed methodology, allowing for predictability and consistency in results. Each challenge I face fueled my determination to succeed. I generally believe that peak performance is built on a platform of optimal health. And by being consistent with these foundational pillars and methodology, with this, I'm able to channel all my energy into focused goals, becoming a productivity machine, improving my ability to achieve the big goals that I set for my business by delivering high quality output in a shorter time frame. And in my personal life, by nurturing meaningful relationships, which is such a powerful outcome you can gain from this. My transformation taught me that success is not just about what we achieve externally, but how we nurture ourselves internally. That's why I believe in these elements and have designed a comprehensive program combining neuroscience-based techniques, blood results improvement, personalized nutrition strategy based on individual gut tests, daily sleep analysis for improved sleep quality, and a high level of support and accountability for peak health and peak performance to optimize for work output. Today, I'm not just a coach. I am a guide helping high-level business owners and entrepreneurs improving their productivity in business and other areas of their lives by making better decisions with their health for better performance. Most people operate at less than 70% of their maximum potential. I help them achieve 97%. My mission is to empower these high-performing individuals to achieve sustainable success by balancing professional growth with personal well-being. This isn't just about physical changes, holistic transformation that touches every aspect of your life. So if you want to know how you can apply this to your life, I made an in-depth training going over the Performance Mastery Protocol. So DM me on Instagram or write in the comments the word performance and I will send it over to you. Now join me on this transformative journey because together we can elevate your performance to heights you never thought possible. Follow me on Instagram and let's talk. All information will be found in the description below. This is my story, but it's just the beginning. Let's write the next chapter of yours together.